So items and things that I had buried, that I had gone beyond, were raised afresh when I saw the saga of Nyoro and Gladys. And the reason I do this video is for Nyoro, but also for you to understand that you cannot write to me on a personal appeal. If I don't know you, if you're not family, if you're not a colleague, if I don't know you, I'm not getting involved. So after Baby Gideon, and you have to watch the video just before this one, there was a lady who consistently was outside our building crying. And when I say crying, I mean crying. Because apparently her child had a growth, it needed a small surgery. She said she had gone to see a doctor at Kikuyu and it could be done, And eventually, you're like, you know what? Nobody has time to wake up every morning to come here and waylay you after your show because, they're wasting time. And I'll never forget this woman. Her name was Tabitha. And I remember between myself, once again, Nyambane, and a few of the people who then worked at KISS 100, we were able to pull together the 50,000 shillings. And I gave it to her in an envelope and I told her, when baby's well, let me know. I kid you not, exactly 2 days later on Woodville Grove, I'll never forget, I was going to Crooked Q. So now you know how old I am, huh? Because you're thinking, Crooked Q? Yes. If you don't know what Crooked Q is, ask a friend. And this woman was outside on the street. I was parking my car. And she was not only slightly tipsy, but with friends and clearly having a ball. And I remember I came out of the car and I looked at her and I told her, Tabitha, si uniitishe pesa za mtoto, ako sawa? Akaniambia, unaanza kuleta hiyo story hapa? Si uniitie polisi? Kwani nilikwambia unipatie pesa na fujo? Sikukuibia? Let me tell you. And at the level she had raised her voice, if it had gotten awkward, I would have been the aggressor. So something could have happened to me on that street. But literally she was like, I didn't ask you for money at gunpoint. And by the way, if you have a problem, so you call the cops. I was like, okay. However, I don't want you to think that I don't help. I do, but I'm structured about it. So I'm clear. Any assistance and anything I do on a universal and global scale. So on my birthday, and a lot of you know this, I'm always very clear, don't send me a WhatsApp, don't send me a message, send me money. And usually the money goes to a school in Korogosho, you know about it. I buy books, I buy equipment, desks, and we've done very well. And luckily for me, because I do that through the Safaricom Foundation, I mean, everything that goes to that pay bill number is something that is accounted for and taken care of. The other thing I'm very proud to be part of is the Fashion High Tea. I'm the patron of the Fashion High Tea. And in the last 6 years, we've always picked something and done what needs to be done. And literally you close the story. So like this year, probably what was our biggest year, we raised 850,000 shillings. So we actually supported 2 charities. One was Shofco in Kibera, and I'm still going to come and visit. And the other was Imani Children's Home, because that was literally a gift from me and Nduko to the home. So, they needed certain things, bed sheets, new equipment, potties, a new play area. I mean, it was so much that was needed. Last year, the money went to my Ella Foundation, and actually, finally, the place is up and running, and that's where the 450,000 shillings went to. The year before that, I think we gave money, but not actually just cash. I don't do cash. We raised money for the cancer ward at Kenyatta National Hospital, and we were very clear we'll work with your suppliers. So we don't go off and get our own things, no. So we worked with Kenyatta National Hospital, and where do you get your drugs from? Cancer drugs are expensive. But literally we wrote the check to each and every one of those suppliers, and on the presentation day they came with the items, and that's what we presented to the hospital. Before that, I remember we released almost 100 women from Pumwani Women's Hospital. You know how Pumwani works. You give birth, you can't pay, they incarcerate you. I do not understand why, but so that's what I do. And the other thing I do is education, because I'm big on that. I will write the check for school fees and equipment to the school of my choice, and I have a couple of schools around the country. At the moment, I have 52 children. My target is 100 children, but you will find that every school I support, I'm very clear that I want to know the children who I am supporting, and they all need to write me a letter at the end of every term. So I'm the one person who actually gets a letter from children that says, "Dear sponsor," because the kids are not allowed to know who I am, but I know who they are. So that's how I do it. But if you wonder why you write to me and I will not get involved in a personal mission, is that I've been burnt. I've been burnt. And to every person who decides that an illness is a great way to con other people, think about how many people you deny genuine assistance because you're a thug. Just think about that. Okay? Good.